So here we are back at the cliffhanger, not cliffhanger, but fork in the road that I ended the last video on. But instead of saying yes, we're going to escape with Kazuma, instead we are going to say no and see the rest of the game. And it's not like there's only a little bit of the game left. Like, this isn't a decision that comes at the very end. There's, you know, maybe 15 to 20% of the game left. A good half hour at the very least. So by making the decision to say no, we not only get the best ending, but we get some of the more fun parts of the game as well. And definitely some of the most challenging parts in the game, to say the least. So Kazuma also told us that, you know, he could kind of wait around for a little while, see if we're able to destroy the core of the island. But it seems like a suicide mission, because if we destroy the core of the island, it will also cause the island to fall apart, which will almost certainly lead to our death. But first, let's take a little trip inside this railed off area here, and we'll pick up an item. This item is non-essential, let's put it that way, the Nikumaru counter. What this does is it tracks your best time through the sacred ground, which is the final area. So if you don't get this, there's no way to find out, you know, if you're doing a speedrun, how well you're doing. I don't think there's any danger of me posting up a speedrun that's going to compete with any of the best, but I might as well show it since it's there anyway. If you haven't completed the conditions required to unlock the sacred ground, like getting the booster 2.0, saving Curly, or at least putting the wheels in motion to save Curly at this point, then you will not find anything in that treasure chest. It will just be empty. So we'll move our way past this cat-like ghost here that is shooting tadpoles, or I guess if you were trying to be a little bit more perverted, shooting sperm at you. Make our way past these things, which I don't even know what they are, but we won't see them again once we get past this. I'm really kind of being stupid by landing in the sand on these parts, because there are sand crocs in them, although they kind of blend in with the background, so it's hard to see. Luckily, since we're not in the sand zone anymore, we have more than, you know, 21 to 25 health, so we can survive a couple of those attacks, but still, lack of foresight on my part to land on that sand. I should know that sand always equals bad in this game. The spur is obviously pretty fantastic in this part of the game for dealing with the enemies that you face, particularly those big cat-like ghosts. It takes them out in one fully charged shot, so if you have it fully charged or charging as you're climbing the wall, you should find that that part is not too tough to deal with. So when we open the door that enters back into the island, and we find ourselves in a new area with this cowardly Mamiga, who looks strangely like Salieri from Amadeus, the movie. I'm not sure if I'm dating myself by making that reference. I mean, the movie came out 4 years before I was born, but whatever. And you see a little bit of a hard edit there, as I spliced together two clips that were not, you know, organically together, let's put it that way. But in any case, we're going to talk to this guy. We learned he is Aito. He is an engineer that came on the expedition that also brought Sue and Kazuma here, but he has been turned into a Mamiga like Sue was by the doctor. But he's also renowned for his cowardice. In any case, we're in the new area called the Plantation right now, and this is the last real kind of questing area that we have. Everything else is relatively linear and scripted once we get past here. There's still a couple of cool quests to do here, and obviously this is our good friend Curly Brace, but unfortunately she has amnesia, so we have to get a mushroom, believe it or not. We're going to feed some organic material to a robot, and the robot is going to regain its memory. This is kind of like the plot to Wall-E, I guess. In any case, we're going to come down here and see another area that we cannot get into yet because we need a password. And then we are going to take a trip up to the left side of the screen and visit an area that we will also need a little bit later, but can't quite use right away. Although there is someone in there that we would need to talk to in order to set the future quests in motion. So what we've got on the go right now is we need to get that mushroom for Curly, but also we need to figure out how we're going to stop the doctor and get back to the core of the island. So here in the rest area, we're just going to talk to this Mamiga with a fishing rod, and we're going to start both of those objectives in motion. So all of the other Mamigas have kind of been forced into indentured servitude. I don't know, but this guy gets the permission to just go fishing whenever he wants to. And up here we can see that there's some broken sprinklers. There were working sprinklers outside, and those are going to come in handy a little bit later as we have one of the final fetch quests in the game coming up. So if you check out your map system, we can see where we need to go. I'm going to try to get to where that guy who was fishing is going to go. The enemies here are not hostile for whatever reason, but well, I should say those enemies in the farm area are not. But there's other enemies that are. But for the most part, the enemies in this place are a cakewalk. So it's not a big deal really. You're probably not at much of a risk of getting killed. This area exists mostly to advance the story and actually kind of put the wheels, get the wheels turning for what's going to be the final story segment, or nearing the final story segment anyway. We're starting to approach the end of the game, to put it obviously, if you've been watching or if you played the game yourself. So we go into this guy's bucket and we pull out a teleporter room key. Normally you would probably have to explore a little bit before you find out what this was for, but since I know exactly where it is, having played the game before, I'll just go over here to the teleporter room. The teleporter in here will take us to Arthur's house, but we've got this guy in here that we can't kill. We just kind of have to walk by him and then get in the teleporter. So this will take us back to the Mamiga village, but no such luck, because the enormous man jumped on our face, and when we wake up, we find ourselves in some sort of Mamiga jail. Jail number 1, so one of many. So we're just going to save here, and I will see you guys in the next video. As always, thank you for watching.